Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about video games and lawsuits. Apparently, parents don't want to parent and they want to sue video game companies for making their kids fat, depressed, crazy, whatever. Take your pick.
Some of these stories, I'm like, wow, and you didn't do anything before now?
Yeah, so this, kind of got kicked off with an article coming from Cleveland that there's a woman who is suing multiple software companies for intentional video game addiction. There are a bunch of lawsuits from a bunch of parents. I think basically what happens is like one person does it, they see it on social media, and they're like, my kid's kind of got a problem with video games too. I'm going to go ahead and sue.
Well, a couple weeks ago, there was an article that you have pulled up that said that there's a trend.
Yeah.
That parents, this is from Business Week?
Yeah.
And they said there's a trend of parents suing. Now, this article, real quick, I want to start out with the first paragraph. And go down. They're talking about this person. It says her 14-year-old has played Call of Duty, NBA 2K, Grand Theft Auto 5, and Roblox games so much over the past 9 years that led to brain damage and stroke and seizures. Your 14-year-old was playing Call of Duty?
Yeah.
Her 9-year-old's been playing, another woman playing made the same games at an increasing and uncontrollable pace since age 6, diagnosed with multiple psychiatric disorders.
Yes, the problem is you're not paying attention to what your kids are doing and you're parking them in front of the PlayStation or the Xbox or the computer.
Take them away.
Take the games away. Well, they get sad. Well, take the games away.
Well, the 14-year-old, who knows? I mean, they get older. Remember the video of the kid that
with
was
the
like...
Switch? They took a Switch away?
Or the one where dad mowed over their... I think that's trying to be a stage, but they mowed over their games.
Oh, yeah.
People, I think, get to a point where you're afraid of your kids because they threaten you physically. So I'm not saying that this is the instance here, but I know of cases. So before we get into it any further...
please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
Go out to Indiegogo. You have another chance to back Shadowbinders Volume 3 coming later this year, as well as picking up another copy of Shadowbinders 1 and 2. If you missed out, we're going to be reprinting those later this year as well. We are sold out of those books for the second time. We keep selling out of these books.
So thank you.
So thank you very much. So check that out. Link in the comments. I'm going to pin it to the comments. So yeah, let's talk about this. I guess maybe go first with this article talking about the flurry of lawsuits.
Well, you know what else is addictive or should be addictive? Our channel.
It should be.
And as far as having psychiatric disorders, we seem to have a lot of people who don't like us who have those.
We do trigger people. Yes, there needs to be a warning. There needs to be a trigger warning at the beginning of the video instead of the music, which people are arguing about. Like, hey, you might get triggered listening to Clownfish TV because they might have opinions mild opinions that you might disagree with.
And then you'll stalk them for 2 years and have meltdowns on X about He-Man every other day
over cartoons.
So. Look, I want to be clear. I do think that some games are intentionally addictive. I do think that, it's kind of like, some people have personalities that are easily, they're susceptible to this kind of thing. That's why we have people gambling addictions and different kinds of addictions. And since they're it makes a very strong response because it is intermittent reinforcement. And that's something that causes a very strong connection for people in a lot of ways. So I'm not disagreeing that, and there are definite cases where things are being addictive. That being said, when we're talking about children and you're their parent, if you're finding that your child is reacting to these things in a negative way, then I would think that would be the time to try some different things. I'm not saying just take it away completely at first because I don't think that's going to work, but there's different things that you could probably do that you could gradually retrain your children that they don't need that. That being said, that's hard.
So they're actually comparing it to all the litigation against big tobacco. Again, nobody forced you to smoke, but it was advertised heavily. It is addictive once you do it.
Or McDonald's and things like that.
McDonald's. I mean, they sue everybody.
I'm fat because McDonald's. Don't eat it then.
Don't eat McDonald's. Well, I can't. They're like, I have to eat McDonald's because I can't afford good food. I'm like, well, now McDonald's is freaking like the Taj Mahal of fast
good.
food.
Now people won't eat. They won't be eating that, so that's a win.
Now you're gonna have to just go buy a bag of carrots or something because I don't know what to tell you. McDonald's is too expensive. But yeah, it's crazy. People want to sue all these companies for their own bad choices, and I do believe
These are children, though.
To some extent, maybe they do engage in some practices that are kind of even the marketing, like I'm looking at advertisements for Coca-Cola and for cigarettes and all this stuff from years ago. It's like, hey, feed your baby Pepsi. Hey, smack your wife on the ass if she doesn't make you a cup of coffee.
Oh, that's right. And tell her coffee's terrible. That was a long time ago. But
I smack you on the ass when you don't make me coffee. I'm like, get me coffee.
No, you don't.
No,
because if you did that, you'd get smacked in the face.
I had more teeth. I had more teeth when we first got married.
But I do think that there's definite steps taken by industries. Like they talked about different snack industries talking about things they put in it to try to make them more addictive to people. I 100% agree. And I mean, everyone is in some way has something that's like a vice for them that they can't quit. So I'm not saying that this is, completely people's faults. But at the same time, I'm like, we're talking about kids and their parents, and you're going to have to tell them no sometimes. And, if your kids stay up all night playing games, then, take the system away.
Well, it's just like
turn off the password, change the Wi-Fi password, etc.
I would say kids are probably more addicted to their phones at this point.
I would say TikTok and stuff like that, yeah.
TikTok. And there, again, I mean, look, I'm not denying that there is an addictive element here because they actually do in some cases. Like I know Epic Games actually hires people to make the game addictive because they want you to keep buying V-Bucks. They want you to keep playing. They want you to come back.
And in that case, they'll probably win because they have proof that they have hired people to do that. Then that lends credence to what they're saying, and that might give them a win. But it doesn't actually change the issue.
No. So this was the beginning of the month. There were a couple of parents going after Microsoft, Nintendo, Sony, Roblox, Epic Games, which does Fortnite.
Oh, Disney.
The companies are part of an industry whose global revenue is forecast to top 200 billion. That's what this is all about, right? So the ESA, the Entertainment Software Association, said that we prioritize creating positive experiences for the entire player community and provide easy-to-use tools for players, parents, and caregivers to manage numerous aspects of gameplay. Claims that say otherwise are not rooted in fact and ignore the reality that billions of people play globally of all ages and backgrounds play video games in a healthy, balanced
way.
That's
just it. You have a lot of people who can walk away. I think that there's other elements at play here. That sometimes people they just tend to be easily addicted to things because of different reasons or their personality.
Yeah, I personally don't think they have a leg to stand on, but apparently they're trying to compare it to a win that they had with social media.
Yes, that's the first thing I thought of was that.
And these online games especially are designed to keep you there. It's, it's just like every other every social media platform is designed to keep you on the platform as long as possible.
More so than before. More so
than before because they want you there because then they can monetize you. Either you're giving them money directly or they're monetizing you by throwing ads in your face. That's kind of how it works. But like I did a video on the gaming channel a couple months ago, 6 months ago, about how they were trying to sue for their kid being fat.
Oh, yes, I remember.
Because their kid packed on all kinds of weight because he just sits around and plays video games.
I'm going to tell you, and this is like, I don't care if it makes me look bad or whatever, but I'm seeing it across the board that parents, their kids get phones or their kids get iPads where what happened with our kids, where they were on the iPads more and more. We had to do stuff to step in about it. Gaming systems, whatever, and then they aren't moving. That's why some of the cool things like they have different games. Well, the kids always play on the VR headset. That's the
Beat Saber.
Beat Saber and things like that, where you're moving around are good things to get your kids into doing that too. But there is definitely a connection between when kids start using devices and then they gain weight.
Well, we need to bring back the Wii. That needs to be Nintendo's next system. They need another Wii. So they already had the Wii U. They need the Wii.
The Wii.
The Wii. Yeah. So we're gonna have another Wii that makes you exercise and whatever. And that's one good thing about VR. Maybe you will get more exercise with VR. But I remember they were trying to sell the Wii as basically exercise equipment. Like they were using it in schools, Wii Boxing and Wii Fit, even though Wii Fit tells everybody they're fat if they're not fat.
Yeah, that's true because we're not.
It's like
Westerners aren't the same as people in Asia.
They had to. I remember when the Wii Fit balance boards came out, they had to reinforce them for America because they're like, yeah, you're all supersized. We didn't design this thing for you, Gaijin. You guys are all too dang fat. But yeah, so that was earlier this month, and now in Ohio, there's another woman. So I think what's going on, I think we have a lot of bandwagon jumpers. They're like, hot damn, my kid's a loser, so I can jump on this, and I didn't parent my kid, but I can get some money. So
yeah, I wouldn't say loser. I'd say that, well, they're having emotional and psychological issues, and gaming is what they're focused on. But it's not my fault.
It's not my fault, but I'm going to cash it. So which is worse, right? I mean, seriously, think about this. Which is worse? The video game companies monetizing your kid, or you being a shitty parent and actually getting paid to be a shitty parent? And because that's what's going on here.
And two things can exist at the same time. Video game companies could be making things addictive, and you're a shitty parent. Could also be happening simultaneously.
You know this stuff is television. Television is designed to be addictive. They a lot of times, look, just very basic stuff like with scripted TV shows. They always have a cliffhanger before the commercial break, because they want you to be on the edge of your seat. Like, oh my God, is MacGyver going to get blown up or what?
Last episode.
We have to make sure that you come back. You watch the commercials because we need you coming back. We have to have, because the advertisers need you coming back. You can't just be like, yeah, I'm going to go take a bathroom break and then just never come back.
Well, sometimes you do that. But the reason I said the last episode is every time we watch MacGyver or one of those shows, my dad would be like, this is the last episode. This is the last. It never was. I mean, it was eventually, but he would always tell you this is the last episode when you were kids, and you'd be like, "What?" Anyway, sorry.
All right. So yeah, I know, right? Well, now you can say that because you never know when the last episode is going to be of a show because they cancel stuff so quick now. It's like, oh yeah, it's the last episode, cliffhanger. You're never going to get an ending. Cleveland, Ohio, the mother of a 12-year-old Cuyahoga County boy has sued the companies that make popular video games such as Fortnite and Madden, along with dozens of other women, accusing them of intentionally designing games to make players addicted. Sonia Foster said that her son's addiction caused him to suffer severe emotional distress, lose friends, and exhibit bouts of extreme rage and anger.
No, to be fair, it does happen. I mean, when we started getting like the home entertainment systems when we were kids, those things were way harder than the stuff now. And you talked about how you bit your controller. People would throw controllers. Squid King once threw a controller into a television set. Okay. And when that happened, we were like, oh, hell no.
Oh, yeah, he was done.
And that was it. I mean, he still got to play games, but it was very limited. But to be fair, when that happened and he realized that and he was about 12 at the time, and he realized this is not good. This is very not good. He actually took steps on his own as well to be like, I broke the TV.
Yeah, you broke the TV.
We didn't have a lot of money. You had gotten laid off, and we didn't have a lot, and we were trying to figure out how to replace the TV. And he saw how much of a struggle it put on everyone, and we did actually get it worked out.
He offered to sell his kaiju collection.
He did, which he got back. Lessons were learned, and he himself took steps to be like, okay, I have a problem. I'm out of control, and this isn't good. But we also extensively limited. Like what he was allowed to do, and someone it was with him when he was playing games and stuff like that.
Even the games, he was allowed. So this of all the games, it was Overwatch. And
it was because our internet was crap and it kept dropping.
So what happened is I found out later was apparently with Blizzard, it's constantly pinging the servers, but the connection would drop on Comcast, and so he'd get kicked out of the match. So it wasn't even his fault. Like he'd
get punished for it.
He was freakishly, and he still is freakishly good at Overwatch, right? But he got kicked out of the match, and he'd get mad because he's like, every time I get kicked out, I get demoted.
He would get punished in some way.
Yeah, and it wasn't even his fault, and it was just because the stupid Comcast connection would drop. And I didn't realize until a couple months later that was an issue. But the only option we had was Comcast.
But the thing is, the point is, it was escalated.
Yeah.
It became a problem, and we did not let it stay as a problem. And so, but emotional outbursts, I 100% agree with, and I have seen myself. I have seen it, countless videos of people having a hissy about being told not to play games.
Yep.
And you don't do something about it when they're younger. When they get to be older, they're going to think they should just park their ass at your house and play games all day, and you're not allowed to tell them no, or they'll threaten you. So you're predator to take care of it when they're younger. But they were talking about this issue with the kid. If you go back up, they're saying about oh no, it was down below. You're right.
Yeah.
Saying about age 4. He started playing at age 4. What a lot of children do. Plays 5 to 10 hours per day.
Why? That's a job.
And he lost friends, developed poor hygiene, has physical outbursts when told to stop playing, sometimes directed at his mother.
Well, okay.
You're 12. I mean that.
If you're gonna play that much, you're gonna have poor hygiene. At least get paid for it. I mean, everybody makes fun of Asmongold and his room being dirty.
I've heard,
but he's a millionaire. You know, kid. Like, if you're gonna do it, at least get freaking paid for it.
But I mean, 5 to 10 hours per day is a lot, especially at 12. And you're talking about how he stays up all night.
Watch Willy Wonka, the original, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Mike TV. Right? Because the same thing was going on back then. People said, hey, TV is addicting. This is addicting. That's addicting. Anything, if you have an addictive personality, anything can become addictive. If you're missing something else in your life, even if you're not missing something in your life, but people that have an addictive personality, it tends to be across the board. Like, they get addicted to gambling, they get addicted to alcohol, they get addicted.
But when you're starting to see things like they're like losing friends, they're not getting cleaned up. You know, you're going to have to do, and they're going to have anger outbursts, because that's typical with something like an addiction.
Yeah.
Okay. You see like these different things. We have interventions where people are addicted to drugs and things. And they have violent, excessive rage and outbursts. That's normal reaction to addiction. It is an addiction, and I agree it happens, but it's not like something that happens to everyone. And just like drugs, people get addicted to it and they can't get off of it, but they're the ones that still continue to take it. So you can't, the drugs are addictive, yes, but they keep choosing to take it. So, I mean, I think there's blame to go to the video game industry and somewhat, because they are hiring people, like you said, to make it addictive.
Right, but the parents you can turn it off.
Yes. If it's online, change the Wi-Fi password, you know?
Yeah, we're not talking about adults here. We're talking about children that you can cut them off from the credit card. You can say, hey, and
you get 1 hour.
Right.
I'm not saying don't let them play at all, but like limit it, saying, hey, you are not playing this game until you get cleaned up and you clean up your room, or
wipe your ass.
Right. You do things. Yeah. you do these things, and then you earn your hour, and maybe on a weekend or summer, you might get 2. Unless it's but if it's a case where they cannot at all, then they're going to have to find another outlet.
Yeah, for real. I mean, this is the thing that gets me about.
But their answer is, let's sue the gaming industry and get a lot of money.
You're being rewarded for being a shitty parent.
And then what? You get a lot of money, and then what?
They just play more games.
That's what they're going to do. They're probably let their kids play more games, and then what?
What do the parents do? What do the parents do for a living? I want to know what they do. They play games all day?
I don't know. But I'm just saying. And then what? Okay, you get the money, cool, and then what?
Yeah.
Are you using it to pay for therapy? Are you using it to pay for? You know what I'm saying? And then what?
And then
that's what I want to know. Like, okay, he has anger directed at his mother. So you win the court case. Okay, and how does that fix the situation?
Yeah,
you're going to have to pair it and stop the situation. Well, you would have done that, either way.
Yeah, I think we have some bottom feeding lawyers going around trying to find extreme cases of video game addiction to monetize.
I think that's the case. I think some parents are probably just doing, and I'm going to the parents' benefit. Some are probably just doing it because they're trying to send a message, and they're trying to get the word out there that parents need to watch this stuff, because it is something I see is increasing. But I do think a lot of people are just in it for money.
Yeah. So we're going to wrap it up, right?
Yeah.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Check out Shadowbinders on Indiegogo. You got about 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks
Not as
left.
addictive as Fortnite.
No, it's not. It should be. We need to fix that. What can we do? We need
more Shadowbinders?
Yeah,
no.
more boobs.
No,
it's PG. It's PG-13.
We're not doing that.
We're going to wrap it up.
Yes.
Please subscribe. We'll talk later.
Bye.